Hey guys, a couple of people have asked me questions about a concept that is technically revision because it's above what's expected of a year five student, kind of moving into more year six stuff and beyond when we look at a concept like this. But I love that people are excited about their maths. I love that boys are asking me and trying to push and extend themselves. So this is going to be a video on how do we add and subtract fractions when the denominator is different. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Let's start with a bit of an easier example of the strategy in action. If we're looking at something like 3/6 plus 1/3, we know that we can't actually do any addition just yet because the denominators are different. So if we're looking to add these two together, we have to get them to an equivalent denominator. So the first thing you need to do is look at the numbers and look at the 3 and ask yourself, hey, how can I get 3 to 6? And I know that if I do 3 multiplied by 2, that'll get me to 6. But in fractions, if you multiply a denominator or do anything to a denominator, you have to do the same thing to the numerator as well. So because I'm taking my 1/3 and I'm multiplying the denominator by 3 to get to 6, I also have to multiply the numerator by 2 to get to 2/6. So now my problem becomes, what is 3/6 plus 2/6? And I know that my answer is going to be 5/6. If I just tried to do it as it was and did 3 plus 1 and 6 plus 3, I get a completely different number that doesn't make any sense. So look for a way that you can change one of the denominators so that it's even or equivalent to the other one. And whatever you do to the bottom number, you also have to do to the top. The Education Perfect activity I set for homework this week, these two questions came up. 2 guys asked me about how to solve these. Love that you're coming and asking me questions. They are quite tricky, so I'm going to show you how to work on them now. So the first one is 2/3 add 14/15. Now, because they've got different denominators, we can't do anything. So I'm going to take my 2/3 and I'm going to figure out how can I turn that denominator of a 3 into a 15. So if I run through my multiplication chart in my head, I know that 3 multiplied by 5 will give me 15. And whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. So 2/3 is the same as 10/15. And then I can do 10/15 plus 14/15. 10 plus 14 is 24. And 15 stays the same in this instance. So my answer would be 24 over 15. Or I can write that as 1 whole and 24 take away 15 to work out the fraction that's left over. Can't do that. So I'll do 14. 14 take 5 is 9, or 1 whole and 9/15. Now, there's another bit on that question that says you need to give the fraction its simplest form as well. So if I look at 9 and 15, I can actually simplify that a little bit because I know if I do 15 divided by 3, I'm going to get fifths. And if I do 9 divided by 3, then I'm going to get 3. So I can simplify 1 and 9/15 to 1 and 3/5 as well. Simplifying is another slightly more complex task that is going slightly above a year 5 level if it's a mixed numeral that's as complicated as this one. So if that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, come and talk to me, we'll sort it out in class. The next one says 1/4 plus 5/12. And again, I've got to work out how can I change this 1/4 so that it has a denominator of 12. And again, run through your multiplication. I know that 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to do 1/4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I'm dealing with 5/12 plus 3/12. 5 plus 3 is 8 over 12. And I can simplify that one as well, because if I divide this top number by 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And if I do the same to the bottom, 12 divided by 4 is 3. So I know that 8/12 is equal to 2/3, and that's its simplest form. Simplest form just means get it down to the lowest way of describing it as you can. Hopefully that's cleared up how to add and subtract numbers with different denominators. You've just got to find a way to get them to the same denominator, whether that's by multiplying or dividing, then it makes it a bit easier. If you still can't quite wrap your head around it, it's above a year 5 level, operating the year 6 or 7 level, so you've got plenty of time to practice before you need to know how to do it for real.